I'm James Whittington-Phillips, and this is week 3 of the acting module reflective logs. This week we had a workshop from the Royal Centre School of Speech and Drama, and this was quite an interesting one, as it gave me an insight into the world of it really gave me a lot of help, or an insight into what I can do with my contemporary monologue. As we started off just by improvising a scene where we improvised a scene where I'm waiting for it in a job interview, and you had to be, and there was like different levels of enthusiasm. It's like what the lowest enthusiasm, like professional and over enthusiastic, and it gave me an insight into what the differences are and how I can apply them to my monologue. And it also in the lesson I was the over enthusiastic one, and it showed how you react as different characters, and how different in different scenarios you react to a character, which also actually helps in terms of duologues. And also we improvised with a story, and we created an improvised piece, and it showed me a lot about how improvisation can help in just a scene, especially with duologues, as it shows you the level of attitude of the character in that scene, and then you can apply that to the actual dialogue of the scene. So what I found challenging about this was that it's like just differentiating the different levels, because sometimes you like to be enthusiastic about things, but also just professional, so you need to find the right level of enthusiasm, as it were. And that's something I do need to work on, is finding the level of my characters, so not going full on straight away, but also not going too far back that it's just very lackluster, and trying to find that solidarity of the character, so not being too over the top but not being too under. Also helped is we went through our contemporary monologues, and I was shown just literally how reacting with the person in the scene, and just reacting with the audience, and just using my surroundings as a way of just displaying the scene to the audience. And it gave me an insight on a different level as to how I can portray the characters in my monologue. Just not having it all down and in towards the floor, but just play it, and also gave me on how I can play it out and just out there to people, and also gave me an idea of how how the character can change, and it's like saying, you can have this, that, and the other, and sort of how different characters change in terms of an explanation, which provides a really good foundation for what I can use going forward with my monologues, and especially with when we get the scenes for the duologues, as we can then take this and apply it basically into all three, really. But especially I'm going to use some of the tips in my monologue, so just literally identifying who you're talking to. Then also you could literally just explain something in expense, because one of my two monologues is, I have two monologues for contemporary. One's a print to play, one's of a builder, and I'm renovating a kitchen. And you're trying to, in one monologue, you're trying to inspire someone to have this kind of kitchen, but then also in my other monologue is a completely different thing. So you're trying to get a message across, and you can use the same thing, but you interpret the emotions differently, I personally think. And that in terms of the print to play, I can use the pauses within the play to change my thought, and also just look at who I'm talking to, then sort of just look away to get the idea that it's like I'm just trying to calm down, I'm going to change how I'm going about it. I think what went well is that I did take to a lot of what was said, and they take a lot of the direction on board, and I've inserted that into my monologue, and it's helped me, and I think it's going to continue to help me going forward, showing how my and just help elevate the monologue and even the duologue even more, so it's not just all on one level. You can show enthusiasm, you can show all the different emotions, and as well as that, even better if I need to continue working on, just get the idea in my head of the monologue, learn it, of course, make sure I learn it, and that will conclude week 3.